Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is set to include many different revelations that will lead to saga-wide implications within this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is really going to all be about family. They're going to bring back that element to its maximum, and the fact that they really are going to focus on a lot of the legacy characters like Luke, Han, Leia, and Lando, and even Chewbacca is really inspiring and exactly very much, intriguing as to exactly where that's all going to go and how it's all going to be utilized in the story by JJ, Chris, and even George Lucas. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions and one of the original plans by director J.J. Abrams and George Lucas, this is where things begin to get very intriguing as well as rather unfortunate for one of the scenes that involved Harrison Ford. Now, specifically, it's described that during the reshoots for the film during the month of June of this year, it's explained that Disney and Lucasfilm crafted a scene with George Lucas and J.J. Abrams that involved Harrison Ford as Han Solo. It's explained that the scene was partially shot and unfortunately and eventually scrapped and cancelled, where it was said to include a scene where a slightly younger version of Han Solo, from before The Force Awakens but after Episode 6, was placed in the Millennium Falcon with a young boy, portraying the role as a younger version of Ben Solo around the age of 11. It was said to be a heartwarming moment between both father and son, where Han teaches Ben the controls of the Falcon that would tie into a later scene in the third act, where adult Ben Solo flies the Falcon with Rey. The scene was described to have a special score planned by John Williams that was never recorded that was dubbed as Fatherhood in the Falcon. Part of the scene even involved Ben Solo befriending Chewbacca inside the Falcon, where Chewbacca was said to wrestle with Ben Solo's thick, wavy locks of hair. It said that though the scene was scrapped, it was replaced with another scene involving a young Ben Solo and Han Solo that would instead involve the Carrie Fisher footage alongside them. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Episode 9 is, of course, going to have a lot of heartwarming moments just like this, but this one in particular that was ultimately scrapped for Episode 9 really is, a very unfortunate thing, because it would have been the perfect example of the relationship as, of course, Ben and Han as father and son, and exactly how they got along many years before he even joined Luke Skywalker's new generation of Jedi and his Jedi training temple. So, Ben Solo, the childhood of this character, what I love so much about this is that we will be learning more about him in the upcoming miniseries called The Rise of Kylo Ren. I don't know if you guys saw that at San Diego Comic-Con, I believe it was, when they announced this. I believe it's going to be like a 6 to 8 part series in the form of like a comic or a graphic novel type of thing, where we're going to learn about the origins of Kylo Ren, Ben Solo's childhood, the creation of the Knights of Ren. I mean, you name it. It's going to be a very interesting thing to read, and how it connects to The Rise of Skywalker and is considered, I believe, to be the Journey to the Rise of Skywalker lineup. So, on top of all of this, Harrison Ford, it was actually said that this scene was partially shot and ultimately scrapped and cancelled sometime during the month of July, when it was already filmed partially in June. Now, this was, of course, part of the major rewrites that George and J.J. Abrams created in November and December of 2018, just late last year. What I love so much about this is, of course, the moment where Chewbacca was actually said to have a heartwarming moment scene to that, and hopefully they use this partially shot scene that was cancelled as a form of inspiration to show us that side of Ben Solo's childhood in Episode 9. Again, like I say, this movie really is all about Kylo Ren, in case you guys did not know. This movie's focusing more on Kylo Ren and exactly where he's going, as opposed to Rey per se. Now, yes, Rey's identity will play a large role in this movie, but they are really focusing on Kylo Ren in The Rise of Skywalker and exactly what's going to happen to this character, what his endgame really is, and what the consequences really will be as being the supreme leader of the First Order. And I think that the most worrisome thing about this is that he really is the last remaining Skywalker besides Leia. As far as we know, right? Unless they surprisingly come out of the blue and say, hey, here's another Skywalker. But Kylo Ren, really is the last youthful Skywalker, and if we look at it this way, we do know that Disney and Lucasfilm want to end the Skywalker saga, And that really is leaving a lot of people to believe that that could very well mean that they're going to kill off every single one related to that bloodline, including Leia. And I think that would be very heartbreaking to see on the big screen, especially for a lot of the hardcore fans around the world, once we go ahead and see this thing later this year. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No hiding on the one. From night to moon, we hear.